No experts, no insiders, just fans.
Transmission from Smackdown Wrestling Podcast begins in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Begin broadcast.
Welcome to Tuesday Night Smackdown. I am the Jew that leads the crew. Alongside is my tag team partner, maybe Medine. Oh, what's going on, buddy?
Good evening, good sir.
We're going to have a fun show. We're not going to talk over each other because we don't have 6 people like we did last night. That makes all the difference, really. There is a lot to talk about. I thought a lot of positive tonight. I'm going to bring back an old segment later on as well. We haven't seen that one in a while. And, of course, this is also not just the go-home show for the Rumble, but it's our go-home show for our anniversary show that we got coming up Sunday, so I hope you're going to be there for that. But we'll tease that, I'm sure, more later.
What you need to make a good Smackdown is your 3 key ingredients.
All right, so real quick, on the board, Teddy, Stike Leather, Juan. Looks like that's it right now.
Hey, 3 the hard way.
They're quiet. We kind of started on time. Maybe they're used to us starting late, but we don't have to wait for Bionic Brian or the Angry Elf or anybody like that. So we just get it going. You know, and that's how we do it. Oh, the sound effect locked up again. You got to love that. Hey, the machines have hated Rob in 2018 way more than me, causing a lot of his hiccups. So
it's Skynet.
I shouldn't have said that out loud. That's probably screwing me right there.
Number one,
to the hard way. AJ Styles tonight. They basically, KO and Sammy, I really liked the way they called him out at the opening of the show, basically saying, don't weasel out of this. You said that you could beat us in a handicap match, and then the following week you said that you could beat us back to back.
I love how they brought up your point when a couple of weeks ago AJ should have done that instead of kind of not looking weak, but I'm just saying like he should have accentuated the point that, yo, I'm the champ that runs the camp. I can do this. I don't need you guys' help.
Were you okay with him saying those things and then being called out like this was the spin play? Like I didn't like that he took that angle at the beginning, but I was fine with it, the way it became ammo for Kevin and Sammy to use against him. So I was okay the way it played out.
In as they say, hindsight's 20/20. So yeah, looking back now,
or seeing the completed product, if you will.
So this gave them the ammunition they needed to come at AJ, and it's either put up or shut up.
Now, and of course, the undercurrent in all of this is Daniel Bryan and Shane. Last week they did absolutely nothing to further that storyline, and tonight they kind of pushed that envelope. They had their little discussion backstage. And Shane and Daniel, while in that exchange, Daniel says, "Oh, do you not think that AJ is he's up to the task? His ability? Are you questioning it?" And Shane looked at Daniel and said, "It's not his ability I'm questioning," and walked off the frame. And that was the end of the promo. So they went right back into that story after taking a week off, where they were seemingly buds again last week. It felt weird.
But maybe they were just giving us a break from it and just allowing it to simmer and now getting the pot boiling again. That's a great statement to go out on because
it is.
Shane knows firsthand what AJ is capable of. And AJ, remember the Mania match last year.
And AJ questioned Daniel Bryan's loyalty. So that came up as well. And then, of course, Shane being all crazy comes out and says if either one of them interferes in the other's match with AJ tonight, he's going to fire them, not just remove them from Sunday. He's going to fire them. So the final nail in this is the Sammy AJ match was pretty good. It was much longer than the KO AJ one. Of course, they were playing that little injury angle. But I loved that instead of spots for Sammy to just recover on. They had AJ attack the supposedly injured Kevin Owens after Medine kept questioning, why the hell haven't they taken this guy to the back yet?
I'm like, Shane, you need to fire these EMTs. That's what you need to fire. They're not doing their job.
Yeah, it's really sad that I have to deal with the troll. I apologize here.
Oh, really? Already?
Yeah.
All right. Hey, Trolley. Go back to your cave now.
Yeah. What the hell?
Anyway, so, yeah. At first, and that explains why that match was short. We've seen AJ KO since SummerSlam. We remember they had a great match at SummerSlam, an even better match, I thought, on the SmackDown after SummerSlam. And then, some here and there, some matches just to keep it in our minds. But Sammy and AJ, that's a match that we're not so accustomed to seeing. And so far in those matchups, Sammy has come out as the beneficiary, whether it be by victory or just by getting shine. Adam?
I'm dealing with
okay.
I'm still dealing with
I'll keep talking.
Yeah.
I don't mind.
I apologize.
No, it's okay. If anyone should be apologizing, it should be you, Trolley, for taking your time on a Tuesday night to fuck with somebody's podcast. Don't you have better shit to do? I guess not.
Right.
But anyway, so I don't have the board up because I would love to read their comments. But anyway, we'll
Jesus.
keep going.
There's two of them at once.
Oh, there's two. Hey, they're doing like you're AJ and they're Sammy and KO, but except they're not gonna win. Just like on Sunday, Sammy and AJ. Sammy and KO. Sammy and KO. I just don't think they're gonna come out victorious. Sammy gained a huge pinfall victory tonight. He looked great. The Helluva Kick didn't end the match, which I did like, because he hits the Helluva Kick and then immediately pulls him into the, what is it, Blue Valley Driver? Blue Demon Driver?
Yeah.
Blue Devil Driver?
I don't know. Hold on.
You know that spinning power bomb that he does, and then counted him 3. So Sammy gets the big push. I was expecting KO to recover and then come in the ring with kind of like a sideways look at Sammy, but I guess they're not playing that angle up yet. But because KO obviously was out, their match lasted 6 minutes maybe at most. It didn't get much
It was
television
short.
time.
That's why they did that kind of like, I didn't know if it was an injury angle or what.
Right, but for Sammy to carry that match, AJ, he did his usual, his repertoire of moves, but the shine really went to Sammy, and he got the victory.
Stike leather on the board.
Now with momentum going into...
He said if Roman wins the Rumble, Philadelphia riots. That's when the Eagles lose, they riot again. So they'll just go back-to-back riots there.
So basically it's going to look like freaking Apocalypse Now?
Yeah.
In like 2 weeks?
I guess.
You
know us Eagles fans. Kingler, Justin Reside, and Nick Merrill have all joined us on Twitch during this troll invasion here.
Welcome, gentlemen.
Oh, God. No, there's another one. And it's only letting me put them in timeout. It won't let me actually block these people. Which is
how sad is it
more
that you
frustrating.
Gentlemen decide that you want to interrupt our show. Yay!
There it goes again. Anyway, we're going to try and struggle through. I don't have much else on this topic. Medine did his best to rail it into the ground.
So stupid.
The Blue Thunder Bomb for Kingler.
Thank you, Blue Thunder Bomb.
Is what he liked, and so did Nick. Let's go on to number 2.
Number 2.
Number 2, if you listen to the crowd, Nakamura is getting ready to do a move on Baron Corbin.
Kinshasa.
And then we hear the crowd pop way too early, like he tuned up the band, etc., whatever. And then what happens? Here comes Not So RK out of nowhere because they spotted him.
And at first I didn't.
I heard that crowd pop.
Yeah, you heard the crowd pop. I was thinking that they went crazy for the Kinshasa, and I was like, wow, they're really into it tonight.
Yeah, and that's why I'm the smartest guy in the room, because I realized there was somebody running out. And I said it. You heard me like maybe 5 seconds before he came out. I said, here comes somebody.
Right, yeah, you did say that.
I didn't know who because it was just the way they were reacting. It had to be somebody. And it turns out it was Randy Orton, and he delivered a great one. Camera was
great
perfect.
running RKO.
Perfect. And then I questioned this the other night when I was talking to Rob in the middle of one of the episodes. But then Baron Corbin, instead of attacking Randy, grabs him and like turns him around to face him, and then of course gets the bad end of that stick as well. So it was just like, why on earth are you even going to try, Baron, to do that? Why would you not attack Orton while his back is turned? Why would you turn him around?
Good point.
He just attacked your opponent out of nowhere, RKO.
Corbin out of nowhere, not doing any offense.
It was a dumb spot. And also, I'm so sick, since this is on the topic, I'm so sick of Baron Corbin in every one of his matches. When he starts to lose, he's going to walk away. And either the opponent is going to go get him and bring him back to the ring, or he's just going to walk away and be counted out. Corbin
has this odd thing integrated into his offense where he leaves the ring and then returns. He loves to run around like he's a 205 guy. I'm pretty sure he's more like 305. I don't really like that part of his offense. And I'm going to add to that, him leaving the ring, like, you're going to have to come up with something different soon.
Yeah, Steichler says when Randy does the RKOs out of nowhere, he is great. But any other times, he's just bland.
That's true.
It is. It is the it's almost an equivalent of a wrestling move version of the cheap pop. Yeah. You see, all we want is the RKO. We want to see you crush him. And you, Medine, you and I have seen those memes going around where everybody is just constant, like RKO.
What year was that? Like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, when they got really popular?
I don't know. Kiara showed me one, and I died laughing.
I still laugh at them.
Yeah, it's just it's good stuff. Every time there was somebody that fell, they just inserted. I mean, it wasn't even that creative, or like, it didn't. Whatever the video editing, it didn't make it look good.
No, it didn't.
So it is what it is. But at the end of the day, I don't know. Did this change your opinion any of Randy's status to potentially win his third Royal Rumble?
Well, he's not going to win.
He looked strong tonight, though, obviously.
He did look strong, but, from knowledge that I've obtained in the past, he's going to be doing pretty much a part-time schedule this year. So him winning again, and let's face it, Randy's going to be 38 this year. There's no reason for him to win a third. 2's enough. I mean, I wouldn't be mad, of course, because I'm Orton Mark, but let's get somebody else in the mix.
Yeah, I've said this many times. I want a first-timer. We're going to get to that, but I've said that many times. I want a first-timer, somebody who's never made it. Steichler says, when Orton shows up in the Rumble, everyone's going to eat an RKO.
Yeah, he's going to throw out at least, I'm going to say the over-under when he first gets in there is going to be 6. I'm going to go with 6.
Yeah, and Kingler says he'll be there late, but he's not going to win.
No, yeah.
So I agree with that. Oh, Noah's here. Hey, Noah, glad to see I came out for all the trolls tonight.
Hello, Noah.
The dark horse is Dolph to win, Teddy says. Dolph's not even in the match. We're going to get to that in a second.
Yeah.
But that's part of the discussion that I'm going to I guess I'll get to that later.
Nah, not yet.
But
make him wait.
Yeah, we'll make you wait. Enjoy the ride.
Number 3,
Fizzle. So I want to talk about this. The Usos, Chad Gable, and Shelton Benjamin rivalry, American Beta, has had some heat on it. And going into this go-home show, I felt the heat dwindled. Bobby Roode just came off winning the U.S. title. They put him in an 8-man tag match. It just dwindled, that heat. And then the last burn, Rusev Day's been over as hell. You put him in that 8-man tag match. It just dwindled. I know a go-home show is supposed to not really risk your talent by booking them in something crazy, but you got to give me something to go toward the rivalry, or at least keep me the same level of excitement, Medine, because my final thought on this is I felt, why I called it Fizzle, that my excitement level went down for all three of these guys.
So earlier,
teams.
How we were talking about the Daniel Bryan and Shane thing and how it was building heat, and then last week they took off, and this week they started up, and I said,
you think that's what it is?
Well, I think it's the opposite, actually. I think it's, instead of the pot boiling, you're turning down the temperature a little bit. Not unnecessarily, too.
Well,
But-
and AJ was missing from last week, and he was showcased a ton this week.
Right.
So
So
maybe
you-
they're playing a little more NXT type booking.
Yeah, to give the champ his moment going into the big four show coming up this weekend. Everybody else has already had their shine prior to this.
Yeah, these guys are overworked to begin with. I don't see why you have to put them on every whatever it is, every note.
Right.
Okay,
You don't.
You don't have to put them on every week. They don't have to have a ton of segments. They don't have to wrestle every week either. That's going to make these guys' career go longer. AJ took the week off last week. He wrestled a little longer this week. It was 2 matches, but it was like 26 minutes. 26 minutes is nothing to a guy that's in AJ's shape.
Right, for his age as well. About to turn 40.
Yeah. But that's the thing is when you're not having to do it every single week, you can add to your career, even though you're a little bit of a risk taker like AJ is. He's not going to have to worry about, getting Shawn Michaels legs or something like that.
And they're going to have to stretch out their talent because right now there's kind of a gap between there's guys that are in their upper 30s and 40s, and then they've got a bunch of guys that are like mid-20s, late 20s, but they don't have anybody like that's really good and prominent in between in that prime age, prime quote-unquote wrestling age.
AJC on the board says, I realize tonight I don't give a fuck about anyone on SmackDown besides Styles. He also says he has no interest in Nakamura anymore.
That's
Nakamura,
WWE's fault.
That is WWE's fault because I'm kind of with him on that. I don't blame Knock. I blame booking.
How did you feel, AJC, when Knock beat Cena? That was like that because that's his so far. That was his biggest moment.
Yeah,
and from there he's pretty much done nothing.
Well, and Chad Gable beat Jey Uso. Kingler says the Gable Uso match was just there to make that team look like a bigger threat. Maybe, or it was to give them more shine going into Sunday because I think they're going to win. Justin says, give me something that excites people for the pay-per-view, not these small crack fillers. I agree. And Teddy, he's only gone because of that. So we got to keep it on that way, and I don't know how else to monitor it because even the great executive producer couldn't solve that one. So basically, the end result here is we have, let me look at my board, we have 16 Rumble spots still to fill for the men. 16 have not declared. All the women, every single one of them on the roster declared, which we already knew was going to happen. But we have only 16 men. Now, there's lots of speculation of, like, returning superstars. Jeff Hardy. I heard potential for Joe. Like, I know plantar fasciitis can be 3 weeks to 6 months. So
yeah, I think it's no for both of those as much as I'd
not even for that spot?
Nah.
What about MVP from last night?
Yeah, maybe. I think maybe you might get some of the old-timers from, and I hate to say old-timers, but I mean, let's face it, they're not
You call them old-timers.
Well, they are old-timers in a way. I don't mean old-timers like, they're ancient, but they're past their prime. They're there to fill spots. I hate that there's that many spots to fill, though. 14, to me, sounds like a lot. And hopefully, at least 4 of those spots, maybe even 6, get filled by NXT call-ups.
And Stike, I believe, said this last night, too. He says Lars is going to enter in either Lashley or EC3 comes over from Impact. I like EC3 a lot, and I think Lashley has grown a lot since his first run. I'd be okay with either. My whole thing is just like with you, Medine. If you got to bring him on the roster, give him something to do. Even if it's just a SmackDown filler feud in the weeks to come between God knows who, like what they're doing with Kurt Hawkins. Do that more. Hey, this guy's losing, so he's saying, well, tonight be the night that my losing streak ends. He's got a gimmick, even if he's not featured.
And the guy like Kurt Hawkins, has he declared for the Rumble? No, they didn't give him a moment to do that. So I imagine Kurt Hawkins will be in the Rumble.
Yeah.
And there will be probably a few guys like that we're not even thinking of that didn't get a moment to get mic time to say, hey, I'm going to be in there. That will be there Sunday.
And AJC, I just kind of touched on your point. He says SmackDown needs NXT call-ups. No, they don't. Look at Ty Dillinger. If you're not going to book them, do not bring them up. Ty Dillinger was over as fuck in NXT, and he has been overlooked on the main roster. I don't know what he could do, but they're not even letting him try at some points. He had that little bit of shine in the triple threat with AJ and Baron, and somehow we're still looking at Baron.
And how long ago was that, Adam? 3 months ago? 4 months ago?
Was it that long?
Seriously, yeah, it was, unfortunately.
It was right after SummerSlam.
Yeah, we haven't seen Ty Dillinger since then.
We have, but not at any prominence. Yes.
Okay.
We have.
I
Just
forgot.
throw away here and there.
I forgot all about it if it happened.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was in the U.S. tournament first round for somebody. But
okay, the only thing that I know of note that I heard that he did was that he beat up Kalisto in a dark show and kind of like went heelish. But that's not even significant.
And Kingler agrees with me on the NXT comment. I'm not the biggest Dillinger fan, Noah says, but even when he was in NXT, so well, he was more over, is my point. Whether you're a fan or not, Noah, you would have to agree with that statement that he was way more over. The chants were there, everything was there. That's just the way it was.
4.
So topic number 4, the women had a one-on-one match, but they still all came out, so it doesn't really count as anything. All right, so our quick speed round, Medine. Last call on the Rumble predictions. We did them all last night in detail. Is there anything tonight that changed your mind?
I do want to change one of my final 4.
Okay.
Not my winner. I went on a limb and I picked The Undertaker to win, which I think is crazy. But then again, I am
insane.
I am maybe. So I'm going to change Orton, who I had in the final 4. If you recall, I had Balor, Nakamura, Taker,
so
and
who
Orton.
are you taking out?
I'm taking out Orton, and I'm replacing him with Cena because I'm still hearing that Cena Taker is on the table for Mania 34. And if Taker's in there, then Cena's going to be in there too at the same time.
Oh,
towards the
man.
end.
I have no idea what's going on.
I'm sorry.
All right. I just Rey Mysterio, Teddy says, in the Rumble. I don't know about that. And Stike says Dillinger got squashed by then WWE champion Jinder Mahal. He did get squashed, but he was featured there, and he looked okay. I didn't expect him to win against the champion at the time, but I expected him to do something after that. He proved he had something, and then they just went nowhere with it.
Right. The week prior, he had got a big victory in order to get that match against Jinder. It was the opening match on SmackDown that day or that night, and it was a decent match. It was actually better than decent, but after that, that's pretty much where he went. Away.
Yeah, Kingler says Joe is out for a while. We know Joe is out, but the timetable for his injury is so broad. It's not like a straight 6 months or 6 to 8 weeks type of thing. It's like it could be a month, it could be 6. So if he is out for a while, that is maybe there was an update in the diagnosis. And so and AJC says I'd rather not have 6 people on SmackDown. I don't know which 6, but there's enough to choose from there. Rumble for Noah, he says Ruby Riott, Trish, Asuka, and Becky, winners Asuka, men's Elias, Cena, Roman Balor, winner Roman. The question about the women, how they would go over the top rope, they did a good job tonight.
Last night
that's
as well.
That's what Stike says. So that's a good point. And what's weird is this was the first time in the lead up to the Rumble week that we didn't have that melee in the ring where a lot of people got dumped. We did for both women's rosters. We didn't for the men.
And that's a good thing because that's the predictable thing that usually happens at the end of the night.
Yes and no. It's a predictable thing because normally on average we have around 20 to 21 entrants already announced. This year we have 14. That's a third less. You don't need to be a Jew to do that math. That's a third less. What are you going to do then? So they can't. What are they going to march out half the roster on each show? It doesn't make sense.
Maybe there are a bunch of surprises in store for Sunday.
And Noah says, what if someone has to get 2 tattoos? Yeah, I don't know how we got talked into doubling down and doing the women's one too. And, we'll talk about that in a second, Teddy. Don't get ahead of yourself. So that was our speed round. My picks haven't changed. I know that was way longer than a normal speed round, but my picks haven't changed. Housekeeping, you know where to find us. So
housekeeping.
There it is. What do you want me to do?
Thank you, Peter Griffin.
Right?
Smackdown presents
Good. Bad.
Go ahead. Make my day.
Stike Leather says Daniel Bryan wins the Rumble. Oh, and Kingler says that he thinks that some of the people will announce on Twitter or something this week that they're entering the Rumble to fill out some of those spots. Could happen.
Yeah, to keep WWE's social media presence relevant, of course. I think they'll have to do that.
Yeah, AJC, I don't know that Bryan's leaving for sure. He said that if they don't use him, he's going to wrestle somewhere. So that's on them. My good, we're going to do good, bad, glorious, creative, fail, and LOL. Play along if you want to. I'll read them if they're any good. Good for me, Randy Orton. The RKO's out of nowhere. I like the shine on him tonight. Did I steal your answer, Medine?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, you did, actually.
You surprised I went there?
Yeah, I am. That's why I was like, what? What did you say?
I thought it was good.
Especially the first one, because I was half paying attention, so when he did come out of nowhere, I didn't hear those pop, but you did say somebody was coming.
Yeah.
And,
and that wasn't just, that wasn't me being a good guesser or being smart. That was me I heard the crowd pop. And I'm like, there's no way they're popping for the Kinshasa when it's not even sold yet. Like, it wasn't like they were tuning up the band or anything like that.
I was like, wow, they really love this move.
Right? AJ good for Juan, RKO, and for Justin and AJC. Good how the women went over the top rope Monday and tonight. Steichler says he's railing that point home. Good for Noah. I'm going to be honest. I barely paid attention to SmackDown. I'll just give it to Becky Lynch and Charlotte. Come on, Noah. That's terrible. You get this, Noah, because I don't have my "You're Killing Me" Smalls effect anymore. So you can thank your one of my fake two dads or my two fake dads. I don't know how you would say that. Let's go to bad. Bad for you, Medine. Oh, late for Teddy Two Stone, of course. He says AJ Styles for his good. What about you, Medine? What's your bad?
My bad was, I guess, what we talked about with the fizzle topic was just not enough, I guess, shine. We've been using that word a lot tonight, by the way.
That's because Kira just taught it to us.
But, yeah, I felt like Rusev, they didn't get their due tonight.
No, that's why I said that's what my fizzle was talking about is that they just went like this.
Yeah.
Just said goodbye. And why? And the crowd is popping. I know they're not in the belt storyline, but give them something.
No, and they need to be soon because I believe that Rusev Day T-shirt is either #1 seller.
Really?
Still. If it's not the #1 seller, it's a top 5 seller.
That's crazy to me. They are both in the Rumble, so at least they get that. That's not terrible. Bad for Justin is the mid-card booking. Bad for me is with so many spots up in the air for the Rumble and all this hoopla, you could have made a go-home show a little bit better by announcing more than 2 people in the final week, which was Miz and Ty. No disrespect to either guy. I'm excited for both of them to be in the Rumble. I'm excited for the dark horse possibility that Miz might win.
Or the dark horse possibility that Ty will not come out number 10.
Right. Oh, well, yeah, like he did last year. That if he comes out 10 again,
it's a guarantee that he's coming out 10.
That's going to be his thing.
It's got to be.
That's going to be his thing. Oh, bad for Teddy is the trolls tonight. Steichler says bad. How Byron Saxon kept saying, if KO or Sammy interfere, they would be fired. Yeah, pretty much. I would agree with that. They ran that. We know what was going to happen. They're not going to get fired. Okay, they've threatened to be fired. This is one of those, for all those people that have kids, and I'm going to make sure that I don't do with my children or my child, is very simply this. Don't make a threat if you're not going to come correct with it. When they were going to be potentially fired every single week, and they haven't been for 6 weeks, you're not going to make good on your promise.
Exactly.
And the audience isn't buying into it either. It's like the same damn Bray Wyatt shit. You're not a god. You can't even win a match.
Byron said it for like the 8-year-olds.
Right?
Pretty much.
I want to explain this for you guys. Pay attention. I'm going to talk slow.
And they're like, Daddy, what's fired?
Oh, I love it. Any event, let's go on to Glorious. I'm going to kick off Glorious. Glorious for me was AJ. Specifically the attacking of KO throughout the Sammy match. I I was kind of with Medine on the bus of, hey, why the hell are they taking so long to get him the hell out of there and do that angle? But then AJ kept kicking him and attacking him, and I was like, love it. Keep it going. I got no problem with this. What do you got, Medine?
I'm going the opposite. I'm going Sami Zayn for Glorious.
Yeah.
Looked really good in the match. I'm not going to say he carried the match, but he was definitely
he was a participant.
He was the one who was on the offense mostly. And the fact that I really, really love the fact that he hit the haluva kick in the corner and then the Blue Thunder Bomb afterwards to finish the match.
Well, I want to play a little devil's advocate because I know a lot of people on the board were talking about the Blue Thunder Bomb earlier.
Yeah, that's my thing.
No, it was long before you. It was me.
No.
I was on show number 1. Day one-ish. Podcast one-ish. No, so what the fuck was I saying? Oh, so what I want to point out is everybody was like, it was good to see Sammy win with the Blue Thunder Bomb. And I agree. It was. But at the same time, this is the first time they booked him to win against a guy he can do the Blue Thunder Bomb to. It's not that he hasn't gotten some wins here and there. This is the first time it's somebody he could do it to.
We've seen a couple of guys that...
He can't do it to Baron. He was fighting Baron for a little while.
Did we see him do it to Baron?
No.
I feel like we did.
I don't believe so. I could be wrong there, but I don't believe so because there's times that I tune out. Justin agrees with you, though. He says Sami Zayn. AJC says Corey Graves on commentary. Teddy's so stoned. Last night he's talking about the APA segments. Wrong show, Teddy. Glorious, not me since I'm a loser, Noah says. Oh, you're better than that, Noah.
Yeah.
Glorious.
Pick yourself up off the ground there.
Right?
Buddy.
Glorious how Kevin Owens sold that knee injury for Stike Leather. Moving on to Creative Fail. Creative Fail for me was the big fizzle match, the 8-person tag match to take the heat off every person in there. Hell, I didn't even care much for, well, maybe I did. I don't know. What do you got, Medine?
Another week where you just throw all the women together.
Well, at least this was because of the Rumble. This would be the only week out of all of them it would make sense.
You're right.
In fairness.
But no, I'm finally at the point where I'm like, come on.
Yeah. Well,
the
women are topic 4, and they're only a topic title until they start booking them on something different. Say I'm misogynistic if you want. Say I'm gender biased. No, give me a product there that isn't the same recycled shit week after week. Because, Medine, regardless of what you want to say, they're failing Charlotte.
Yeah.
They are absolutely failing her as a champion and a talent because of this booking. Because there are no rivals. This is the same way Mickey James, if you want to count her that way, but Beth Phoenix for sure. They had no rivals. The division wasn't booked right, so nobody was coming up to build. The reason we always talk about Trish and Lita is because they've never been able to duplicate that because they've never tried to invest in a division that way.
You're right.
Molly Holly had the title for a long time during the Trish and Lita feud. Why? Because you built the division. It wasn't just about the belt.
Right.
They've teased it, but never pulled that trigger.
Church, Adam. Church.
Hey, that's what I do. So, we got to go to the board. Creative fail. Brian Cage signing to Impact, Noah says. Creative fail. Shinsuke versus Baron. What was the point? Stike Leather says the point was RKOs out of nowhere.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't think WWE cared beyond that. Creative fail. Sorry for Justin. Uso American Beta 1-on-1. It was a good match. I don't know why they didn't do this sooner and all this other. I don't understand. I'm so torn on that whole booking of this whole rivalry. There's parts of it I love. There's parts of it I can't stand. There is no middle ground for me on it. And it's tearing me apart. Sorry. Noah says they haven't tried to invest in a division that way. They've literally given the women more time and publicity than ever before. Noah, okay, if I give you more rocks, does that make any better rocks that you're getting? What I want to do, and maybe that's a bad analogy to start it off, but my point is I don't give a shit about quantity. You could have 100 women on the roster. You could give them 2 hours of the 3. If you're going to book these shitty 6-women tag matches, I don't fucking care anymore.
We want quality.
Yes. I don't care if there were 4 women on the roster and they were monopolizing an hour of the time. If it was quality, they are marching the same women down in the same angle with the same loose 3-person, 4-person factions week after week after week. The 1 week in recent memory that they gave us a true one-on-one tonight, everybody came out. Some of them even started ringside, and everybody came out. Here comes the welcoming committee. Even the champ, who's not in the Rumble, came out. Why? Because we have nothing booked for her, so we got to march her out there as well. I mean, come on. I'm sorry, Noah. You got to admit the quantity and quality argument there. Berto says, SmackDown tonight felt like when they used to do a SmackDown before Mania. Whole lot of nothing. It was a whole lot of nothing. The AJ Sammy having him attack KO constantly during that match made it a little more for me. But yes, for the most part, Berto, you're right. And AJC doesn't like Ruby's nose. She does have a bird face. Those of you out there might know what I'm talking about. Speaking of LOLs, here's the LOL award, Medine.
Corey Graves.
Yeah, Corey. I like Corey a lot. My thing with Corey is I don't want him to flip-flop. I want him to be like Bobby the Brain in the sense that Bobby never flip-flopped. He was always pro-heel, anti-face, no matter what.
A little bit of a different day.
I know.
That's why.
I know, but Corey, he flip-flops too much to me.
I don't think that he necessarily. Well,
he pops
I see
for
the
the New
flip-flops.
Day, and then he pops for Rusev Day, and then he throws Baron Corbin under the bus. You know, like, and Dolph Ziggler. So, which do you like? Heels? Do you like faces? What do you like?
I think he likes.
You just like your boys?
No, yeah, he likes his boys, but he likes the entertainment value that some of the wrestlers bring. And
so the guys he doesn't like Baron
the
Corbin,
are boring as fuck.
Okay,
pretty much.
Stykeleather says Corey Graves saying he loved Egos over pancakes, and Teddy says bring back the SmackDown fist. I think he just keeps going back in time. I wonder what weed that is.
He likes fisting.
Me thinking any girl would ever like me, Noah says. Noah, come on.
Hey, what happened to you today, bro?
Yeah, somebody get Sierra Ann on the line to make Noah feel better. Berto says, that will never happen, Adam. Corey Graves sucks, and he is in the boat as JBL and as Cole. Now,
nah, son.
Okay, I actually agree with this statement to the comparison of JBL, where JBL kept wanting to be that heel, but kept flip-flopping. Quality, again, Corey Graves is much better, but the way they flip-flop, they are very comparable. If you just look at the way they flip-flop, and not their words, their lack of conviction one way or the other.
JBL didn't flip-flop. He was a goddamn beach sandal.
I don't know. I mean, I'm the smartest guy in the room for a reason. I think I made my point.
There's only two of us here.
Yeah, well...
And I'm pretty smart.
Even better.
I'm pretty smart, so.
LOL for me was New Day karaoke to Glorious as Bobby walked down to the ring.
They threw up. Also, when he went for his taunt, and they're like, they threw those different adjectives in there. He's like, no, not those. Glorious.
Corey is actually funny in a Jesse Ventura way, is what Noah says.
Yes. Wow, good reference, Noah.
Yeah, and
you weren't even around back
then. And then Berto's like, why does Graves have to yell into the freaking mic? Why not? I don't know. I guess that's all I got with this. So I'm stalling till I find the right sound effect.
There we go.
Speaking of getting dirty.
They see me rolling, they hating, patrolling and trying to catch me riding dirty. Trying to catch me riding dirty.
They'll never catch me riding dirty. They'll never catch me riding dirty. It's so
if you
dirty.
don't ride dirty, they can't catch you riding dirty.
I mean, it's so dirty tonight. I gotta unload this dump truck right now. I'm gonna help out my boy Bionic Brian because last night Rob put him on the spot and was like, "Hey, you got an NXT moment?" And he wasn't prepared for it.
It was an NXT minute.
Excuse me. So
trademark pending.
I'm gonna help out my buddy who's not here now. Shout out to BT, and start with. It seems, Adam, that there is already a little bit of backstage one-upsmanship between new NXT signee Ricochet and the Marked Out Wrestling Podcast's favorite tag team, the Street Profits.
Ninja, please.
Yes, sir.
That's what she would say to that, probably, too.
So Ricochet's been training at the Performance Center for just about a week, a little bit over a week, and he sent out a tweet with a video that took a somewhat playful jab at Dawkins and Ford. Ricochet in the video is doing chin-ups with these chains weighing him down. And he tweets out and says, "This is how it's done. I had to show Dawkins and Ford. Apollo Crews knows what I'm talking about." End quote. So he sends that out.
When you want to get over, all you got to do is say, in any medium form, you got to start some controversy to get people to talk about you. And if you're not, of a worthwhile status, then you have to attack somebody that's a worthwhile status in a worthwhile way. He just splashed on the scene, and now he's going after not the big dogs, but the rookies of the year last year, if you will. Now he wants to be rookie of the year this year. It's the same type of thing.
So Ford, who is
Charlie Pride and John Denver kind of thing.
And Ford is a specimen in his own right.
See how smart I am?
Yes. And he decided to respond with his own crazy, insane workout video. And he's got like plates upon plates. And he says, "It's a light day." And so the two are, in competition already. NXT holds a strength and conditioning competition annually.
Do you remember when Montez Ford first came on the scene? He was showing off his vertical and training videos all the time.
Oh, yeah.
So this is in his wheelhouse. Ricochet's coming at him the same way he splashed on.
And Ford has finished in the top percentile, or whatever you want to call it, in this. They call it the Combine every year. So Ricochet's already been overheard saying that he's coming for that crown.
All right.
So we'll see what happens. And we'll stay with NXT. Recent signees such as Ricochet and War Machine and Candice LeRae, Adam.
Oh, you finally said it right.
They'll be making approximately $65,000 to start. And their travel expenses will be taken care of.
And I'm not playing a sport.
Exactly. So good for them.
Yeah.
Another person who would like an NXT run, possibly again, Cowboy James Storm. Now, if you remember, barely, he had a short stint. No, he had a brief stint there.
No.
And then he left.
Spike Leather, help me out with this to make sure that I'm fact check right. No, he didn't. James Storm has never been in the WWE.
No, I didn't say WWE. I said NXT.
He was not in NXT either.
Yeah, he was.
I don't think so.
Yeah, he was. I saw it.
Okay.
And if I saw it,
I remember that the whole reason Beer Money was formed is because WWE made the mistake in America's Most Wanted thinking that Wildcat Chris Harris was the guy of that team, and they signed him away. And Bobby Roode joined James Storm and formed Beer Money, and they eclipsed anything America's Most Wanted ever did.
Yeah.
And Wildcat Chris Harris, I think, had one match against
James
R
Storm
Truth.
he did show up on NXT, and he was there very briefly.
Kingler says he had 2 matches in
Yes.
NXT.
So, yeah, it was a super brief run.
And Berto says he was a dummy for leaving.
Yeah, he was. He decided he was like, I'm here a couple of weeks. I'm not feeling this. I'm going back to Impact.
Why not?
Yeah.
Some guys, some people overvalue their talent, and some people want to strike while the iron's hot. And if WWE wasn't going to get him out on TV, then no.
So speaking of Impact, since he decided to go back, another guy who's ready to make an impact, EC3 is almost a lock to show up on Sunday at the Rumble.
Really?
He's been at the Performance Center all week, and he's canceled all of his independent bookings for the foreseeable future.
Wow.
So that's one of your probably surprise entries. Sorry to ruin it.
Okay.
I'm not sorry.
I don't think that's a surprise entry. I think that one. I think EC3 has been talked about enough. AJ was a surprise.
Oh yeah, that was a huge surprise.
EC3. I don't think that's such a stretch.
No, it's not.
So real.
Not done yet.
Okay.
We're gonna wish since we're talking about the future, 10 years going in the past, 10 years future. Maybe we'll see him 10 more years. Happy anniversary to Kofi Kingston, 10 years with the company. And according to one Smarks math that he did online, Kofi has held some type of championship, whether it be tag team, U.S., or intercontinental, for 25% of his tenure in the company. So that's pretty fucking good.
Wow. Berto says that James Storm left NXT to go back to be with Bobby Roode, and then Bobby
Roode left. Yeah.
So
yeah,
that could be a little angle they could play.
Absolutely. Speaking of one of Kofi's former opponents, Randy Orton. His wife took to social media last night to express her displeasure in her husband's exclusion during last night's festivities on Monday Night Raw. Randy was a prominent member of Raw in the late 2000s.
There was a lot of people left off.
Exactly.
And we'll touch base on that.
And then finally, going from RKO.
Wait, no, before we do that.
Oh, we're doing something?
So real quickly on the cruiserweights, of course we know.
Really?
What?
Let me just get this last one out, and then you can
Okay.
talk about the cruiserweights.
All
RKO to KO. KO was on Jericho's podcast recently. He stated that he's in his WWE bubble. He does not watch NJPW, which Paul Rosenberg kind of called him on, and then KO was like, you know what? Before you call me on that, know what you're talking about, and kind of put Paul in his place. And then also, he said something that we echoed earlier. He does not like the way that the Riot Squad is being booked right now. He feels they're three separate individuals, and they're being grouped together and not being allowed to express themselves creatively in their characters.
That's my whole. I mean, you extend that to the whole women's division.
Yeah.
The same with the welcoming committee. You got 4 women there that are all very different individually. There is no reason that they should be a group together.
No.
There's absolutely not. I don't even buy just teaming some of them up in a duo. Why is Lana with Tamina? There's no sense. They tried to play that angle. Nobody cared. It went nowhere, and it had no rival. It was just backstage segments.
And then are we going off the air? Or are you going to go cruiserweights?
Do cruiserweights first.
All right.
So we know that the cruiserweight title is going to be vacated.
That thing is cursed.
Yeah, and we know that Enzo was released. Some other details that have come out is that Enzo was released. We know, of course, he was suspended from these allegations, but he was now released because he did not disclose that this was under investigation to WWE, and they kind of got caught blindsided by it, if you will.
Exactly. He knew of the allegations and did not inform them prior.
And maybe they could have gotten their legal team to help him now. Now he's got a statement out there. They're questioning the girl's character. There's a whole bunch of back and forth. But this is probably the end of his career.
Yeah, and if not, he's like
Rob
and I were looking online. He could shave his beard and cut his hair, and he'd look completely different.
He's still got that voice.
He looks like a Muppet. Sam the Eagle, by the way, that you pointed out.
Yeah, same tattoos, same voice.
Right.
The other problem is that it would take one bad arena to start chanting, something like rapist at him.
Or no means no.
Yeah, or something really bad. The fans are going to sour on him even if he comes out smelling like roses. That's why they've crucified him so quickly. This is not some nice family man that, this isn't AJ Styles.
No.
AJ Styles, this would be a yesterday in the last 24 hours would be a say it ain't so moment if this was AJ Styles that somehow did this.
Right.
Where Dolph were like, told you. I hate to throw AJ's name into the story, but I'm just trying to think of a good family man.
Right.
AJ's, devoted to his wife for many, many years, 4 children. I would be like, say it ain't so.
Right. You'd be like,
if I heard something like that, where I'm not shocked, unfortunately.
What I am shocked about is the plot twist that just happened recently in the past 12 hours where a couple of videos have surfaced. One of the girl with a testimonial of what happened that evening. Rob watched, I showed Rob the video. I told Rob prior to watching the video that I wasn't sure after watching the video. I didn't say I didn't believe her, but I just was like, maybe not. I don't know. Rob said, and I quote, "That bitch is lying." So take it how you want to take it. TMZ Sports is where I saw the video. You could watch the video for yourself and decide for yourself. And then a video came on, and also screenshots came on of texts that were sent by the girl to a good friend, a male, that say basically that she was basically on those texts bragging about the fact that she had sex with Enzo and then was hanging out with her friends and his friends doing coke.
Not adding up.
Yeah, doing coke
with them. The good news is that there's a potential now that we might have a 15-man battle Royal Rumble for the cruiserweights to declare the championship at Royal Rumble. I heard that was a mud report.
Okay.
I don't know the legitimacy of it, but as a pre-show event, which was probably where Enzo was going to fight Cedric anyway.
Yeah.
Now make it worth something and make 3 Rumbles at once. You got to declare a champion, put a little twist, make it 15 people. That's what you got on 205 Live. You could have a rumored Just have Ricochet do a one-off before he goes to NXT officially. And the other rumors were possibly that's where Neville makes his return.
I was going to say, just make it 20 and throw 5 surprises in there real quick. I'm sure they could find 5 guys by Sunday.
Yeah.
Just for, like you said, a one time only.
Exactly. So what do you got? What's your last one?
So the last one is after Raw went off the air last night, Miz came out at the Manhattan Center, or he arrived at the Manhattan Center, and cut a promo on the Too Sweet Click, stating that he was the only champion present in the room, in the building, and continued to berate them for being old and whatnot. Seth Rollins then came out, and the fans immediately began to chant Ring of Honor. Seth acknowledged that he did, in fact, win the Ring of Honor Championship right there in the Manhattan Center. Miz then retorted with, all of you can go back to the bingo hall down the street with that. I'm rich, I'm famous, I have a beautiful wife. The rest of you can go home to your fat slob wives. He then turned around and received a super kick and a curb stomp for his appearance. Thank you, Miz.
You're welcome. Thank you for being the guy that goes to both venues. Here's for your trouble. You're gonna get curb stomped. I mean, seriously, all I gotta say to that is,
You're welcome.
right? Just give it to him. So is that it? Is that it for you?
That is it. That was a loaded mud report.
Right? You should have got a before and after on that one.
Excuse me. I'd like to ask you a few questions.
As pollo mio, oh sada mia.
All right, that's it. Now it's my turn. 5 minutes alone. That's all I need.
It is the long-awaited return of the Asshole Asylum. I haven't had anything to rant about and get up on my soapbox in a while. I always, of course, throw my jabs out there, my little points. But tonight I want to focus on the Raw 25th anniversary. I want to specifically educate all of you on all the stuff you should have reacted to 24 hours later. Let's just look back, okay? Here's what we're celebrating. Viewership is down 5 million viewers from your heyday. Yeah, let's celebrate that by bringing out the has-been so we can ruin what Rob said, what little memory we have for that. Oops, sorry, Berto, I hit the wrong button and deleted your message, whatever the hell that was. My bad. Most of the people that they trumped out there are legends again, were used as set design, either to play fucking poker, which I was cool with at the beginning. When it became like 20 people to get in the camera, even the cameraman was probably like, fuck, how am I going to get everybody on shot? Half these people don't even know who MVP is. He's not wearing his like onesie and breathe right strip. How am I supposed to recognize him? And he looks different with his hair that way. I don't know. Just shit like that. And all the women, none of you are allowed to talk. You can come out and wave. Really? Most of those were legitimately women legends up on that stage. Most of them. I would say half or more. Okay? And not one, not even Trish Stratus is allowed to talk. Okay, that's another gripe. 2 venues. We're going back to WrestleMania 2 shit. That failed. I know you want money, but why would I pay to go see it live? I had a much better seat of both things right here in my living room and could do whatever the hell I wanted to. Production budget is down. Why would I want to go see it live? Back in the Attitude Era, the production value of people's entrances and everything was part of the pageantry that is wrestling and making it the sports entertainment that Vince built. Don't worry, we're cutting budgets, so we've completely forgotten about that. Let's not forget, this is also 2 weeks after the real anniversary. Why they would replace a go-home show with it to bring out all these legends, I don't know. I loved all the segments. Do not get me wrong. I loved all of them. They could have spaced them out between now and Mania to bring out legends like they normally do on the road to WrestleMania. They could have done that and had them all come out and do their one segments. No problem. Even your cheap pops and everything like that. At the end of the day, I hate that WWE has made me agree with something that Vince Russo said. And then I'll let you comment, Medine. And Vince Russo said, and I quote, he says, I don't fear somebody like Sami Zayn. He said, he could take me in a fight, I'm probably sure, but I look at a guy like Sammy and think I can take him because of his size. Where in the old days, a wrestler walked by and you're like, damn, that's a big dude. That's a wrestler. You know, like One Man Gang, you spotted him on the street. You knew he was huge. And I'm not discounting these guys' talent or anything like that, but there is a suspension of disbelief. And when you have these guys, I'm sorry, I think I could take Sami Zayn. I think I could take Finn Balor. They would probably kick my ass because they're professional athletes and they're conditioned and all that. No question. But even without drunk goggles, I would think, oh, I could beat a guy that size. So it's a suspension of disbelief when you have all these people that are on the roster that we can beat. It's not just Shawn Michaels on there. It's not even just like Daniel Bryan or AJ Styles. It is majority of the roster. Kane is now a ginormous man compared to everybody because the roster is so much smaller in size. So WWE, you have to basically do something again here to make us care. This Raw 25th anniversary hoopla, this was, Vince McMahon said it best. This was 25 years I put into this product, and I got a fucking plaque. Okay? If I work somewhere for 25 years and you give me a fucking plaque on my way out, I might take a shit right there on my last day as I'm walking out to my car, just right in the lobby. Just a nice steaming pile. Big thank you for my fucking plaque after 25 years. That's what you gave us, WWE, last night. You gave us the equivalent of the plaque. And what's even worse is Vince's reaction to the plaque is my reaction to the show. Care to comment, Medine?
No, this is your segment, bro. I'm just here to listen.
That's it? You don't want to retort?
Mike Cena said that he's glad you brought it back. That's what he just sent me a text.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, he's glad that you brought the assholes out.
You got it.
Please, listen to my voice. Take it from the wise old Jew.
You are such a dick.
So that is the Asshole Asylum making its grand return. We got 2 segments to go. We're going to get trapped in the Marchives real quick before we go on to everybody's favorite, especially Tez. He's clamoring on the board for it this day in wrestling history. But first, let's go into the Marchives, join the Hitman for the first Rawsome. This was our hangover show. It followed our drunk show, which was crazy. Bootios was now a real product back then. You remember that? Yeah, we got a box over here on the wall. First edition of 20 Questions with Medine. Yeah, that was about as shitty as Rob's 11 questions. It was just fucking long-ass segment with no payoff. It's like a bad comic. New logo looks sort of blah and lazy. Take that up with Rob, Hitman. Graves was forgettable on commentary. Rob wants the Universal Championship to bring the gold back for the strap. I don't know. The Universal Championship just looks weird. The red belt.
It looks like a fruit roll-up.
Yeah, I don't think there's any saving it. Panel thinks WWE Championship looks bland with just the big W. Yeah. It's amazing how we used to like nitpick on the belts, and now we're just like, well, I don't know. Well, then Rob's still on that, actually. He's nitpicking about the U.S. title. The panel shits on Strowman's jobber, a.k.a. Ellsworth. So this was Ellsworth's debut, Medine. I don't know if you remembered the Chinless Wonder getting smashed by Braun before he became who he was.
Cinderella? I remember him.
Yeah. Rob admitted he loves porn. He always accidentally admits that. Points have finally died to the draft split. Yeah, remember throughout the show and our awards segment, we used to hand out points to one another?
No.
You don't remember back then?
Only coins, right?
Well, the coin was the signifier.
Oh, no, you're right. Yeah, we
Rob
did
kept
keep
track,
a scoring system.
and whoever lost at the end of the night had to do a stupid impression.
I was usually the one who won. I remember that.
You don't remember that? Okay.
No, I remember winning a lot.
And Joker was on the board. The final thoughts. The man with no chin was born. Also, the show began to hit stride. Good overall show, and old favorites coming to the board. So that's what we got for the Marchives. Teddy, are you ready?
This day in wrestling history.
I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to do it, Teddy.
This is everyone's favorite game now. this week in wrestling history, and we're going to throw a spin on it because usually I'll take an episode of Raw or SmackDown and tell you, get you to guess a bunch of things. But this time, we're going to do something a little bit different.
Oh, you changed it up.
No, not necessarily.
Little swerve.
Not necessarily. All right. First question.
Yeah, what are you waiting for?
Who beat who?
Here, you want a horn? There, now you can commence.
No, I feel like now it's gimmick infringement.
Oh.
Or where's Kiki? Is she about to pop into the room?
I don't know. She doesn't like us anymore.
I know, but don't do that again for that horn. Not for me.
Yeah,
I don't deserve the horn.
Yeah.
All right, who beat who? X-Pac or Gangrel?
Jesus, is this a race for Coke or is this a wrestling match? Because my answer may change. I'm gonna go with Gangrel, sure. I mean, depending on the competition, you know, is it Pod?
That was great. No, that is incorrect.
Oh,
X-Pac defeated Gangrel. All right,
Teddy guessed right.
How long did it take? Closest without going over.
I can't. This is bullshit when it's just me. I usually like to just add a second Price is Right style.
Not this time, buddy.
Oh, man.
I need an actual guess.
For Teddy, I'm going to go 4:20.
Oh, man. I have no idea.
4 minutes, 20 seconds.
That's a good one, but no. 5 minutes and 53 seconds.
Hey, I wasn't that far off.
There was something on the line. What did they wrestle for?
A G-string. No, I don't know. Let me think. Goblet of Blood. I'm just thinking out loud here. Anything that pops into my head.
No, you can keep throwing them out since you're the only one guessing.
Right?
That's fine. I'll give you a hint. It was a title.
It was X-Pac's bandana. Was it a razor
against Gangrel's blouse?
Was it a razor? Oh, it was his fangs. They fought. No. Oh, you said it was a belt. I'm not even listening. European title.
Give yourself some coins there, buddy.
Yeah, that's about the level those two deserve.
All right.
Hardcore title, Teddy guessed.
Where was this event held? Was this held in Los Angeles, California? Was this held in San Bernardino, California? Or neither?
Huh. Were we in wine country or we were in Cokeland? Smog-filled. Drivers. Nakatomi Towers there. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that one. LA.
Close enough. Anaheim. Fuck it. Give yourself a coin even if you're wrong. I don't give a shit.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right. Everyone remembers the Rock Mankind I Quit match.
Oh.
Right?
I remember This Is Your Life.
So what I'm asking here is, how many stars did that match get?
How many stars did that I Quit match get?
You can get close.
See, from a brutality standpoint, it would be off the charts. From an actual wrestling match, or even quantified as a hardcore match,
we're going 1 through 5.
Is it a Meltzer grade?
Yeah, I'm guessing yes.
Justin said 3 minutes 10 seconds, and he said Staples Center in L.A. So he guessed close to me. Nick said X-Pac, by the way, as I'm thinking. So
that's fine.
And 5-star for Teddy, he says, you can't play over slow mode. Yeah, well, the trolls were abnormally dickish tonight, so this is what we had to do. I'm sorry. Make your comments count. That's all I got to say. What was the question again?
How many stars did the Rock Mankind I Quit match
I'm going
receive?
with Nick. He says 3. I like 3.
Close enough. 3.5.
Yes.
And then finally, this
trivia sucks with one person.
It does. This was, I'm deriving from the Royal Rumble, obviously, that took place on January 24th at the Arrowhead Pond in Anaheim, California. What year was this Rumble? 1998, 1999, or 2000?
It was definitely not 98 because, it was definitely not 2000. That's what I'm thinking of because that was the street fight with Cactus Jack and Hunter in, I believe, MSG. It was in New York City, regardless if I got the venue wrong. So 99 or 98. I'm going to go 98.
Final answer?
Teddy says 99. I'm going 98 just to disagree.
Teddy gets the point. 1999.
Good job, Teddy.
And then finally, who won the Royal Rumble that year?
1999. That is going to be. I got to think about WrestleMania 99 and who fought there. The Rock won in 99.
I'm going to give you all the participants really fast. Al Snow, Big Boss Man, Billy Gunn, Chyna, D-Lo, Dan Severn, Draws, Edge, Gangrel, Goldberg, Jeff Jarrett, Kane.
Goldberg was in there?
Goldust, excuse me. Goldust. I might have slurred that together. Golga, I don't know who that is. Jeff Jarrett.
Yes, you do. Golga was originally Earthquake.
Okay, gotcha. Jeff Jarrett, Kane, Ken Shamrock, Kerrigan, Mabel, Mark Henry, Owen Hart, Road Dogg, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Steve Blackman, Test, The Blue Meanie, The Godfather, Tiger Ali Singh, Triple H, Val Venus, and X-Pac were all defeated by
The Rock.
Mr. McMahon.
Oh, shit.
And that, my friends, concludes this edition of
Stone Cold won in 2000. I should have known.
Yes.
I should have known.
This day in wrestling history.
Thanks for playing, everybody out there. Teddy got 99. Nick got 99. Teddy gets Stone Cold, but Nick got Vince. So good job, Nick Merrill. What do we got here? We're going to, I guess, shut the shit down. Close it out here. My closing final thought here is an argument I had on Twitter, Medine, and I want you to chime in on your response here. So everybody on there is talking about that it's so obvious this year that Roman is going to win the Royal Rumble because it has to set up the Brock-Roman feud at WrestleMania so that Roman can be the guy to finally dethrone Brock. I want to make this clear, okay, so everybody pay attention.
Please listen to my voice. Take it from the wise old Jew.
I am not saying that Brock and Roman are probably not going to fight at Mania for the title. They are. I think that there's probably a 70-80% chance of certainty right now. The one variable would be if somebody got hurt. So that's going to happen. Why does everybody think that the Rumble has to be involved as part of that? It doesn't. Here's why. Because any number of other people can win. They could, like Finn Balor, jump ship and go to SmackDown. They could, like Nakamura, just be on that show already and challenge that title's winner. There's a whole list of things that could happen. More importantly, what I think is going to happen, and you can, go back in the archives and listen to this later on after it becomes true, but I think Roman is going to be one of the final four. I think he'll be in the competition. I do not think he's going to win the Rumble. I think that he's going to lose, and then I think next month at the Elimination Chamber, he is going to win a battle of six there to get the number one contendership. Brock will not be a part of that match, or probably fight in that pay-per-view. I'm sure he'll take the time off or just be the one waiting in the wings and make it all be about the number one contender chamber match. And Roman will win that, and that is how you set that up. They do not need to waste the push of the Rumble on Roman Reigns. It's a wasted push. And that's why I don't know where everybody is thinking that Roman's a lock just because he's going to fight Brock at Mania.
I agree with you, Adam. The Roman's odds right now are pretty high. He's, I believe, in the top 5 as far as odds go for winning. But
Daniel Bryan creeping up that chart.
Yeah, he's way up there. Two things that I want to...
And Daniel Bryan could go challenge AJ. Again, somebody from SmackDown just stays on that show.
I'm going to co-sign two things that you said. One, the Elimination Chamber is a Raw exclusive pay-per-view.
Yep.
So
that's a fact, no matter what.
That's a fact. So right then and there, and you know that there's no way that a Raw pay-per-view is not going to be headlined by Roman Reigns, the guy himself. And you'll probably throw Finn in there.
And it's too early. You wouldn't put him against Brock, or you wouldn't do another triple threat with him and Braun and Brock.
No.
And you wouldn't blow your wad before Mania. They're going to keep Brock off Chamber, and they're going to put Roman in a contender match.
Or you could throw Braun in the chamber, and he could take two or three finishers and not look weak and lose.
Exactly. Braun is going to be in the chamber match. Yeah. I can almost guarantee
Brock
that.
is not.
Brock is not.
No,
it's because it's going to be contender.
Yeah.
And they might throw the Miz in there. There were rumors of other people returning and other people you could throw in there to give them a push, like Cesaro and stuff like that. If Sheamus goes and shoots the movie, we don't even know what the hell's going on with their schedule. He probably already shot the shit.
Right.
But again, Roman's fate and Brock are not necessarily intertwined in the Rumble, is my point of all of this. Guys, I
had a second point.
Okay.
The second point is, and we talked about it last night, Roman already won in Philly, and you saw how that ended. You don't want a repeat of that debacle from a couple of years ago.
But, again, just like what I was talking about with Ronda Rousey being, I think her being second, the runner-up in the Rumble, can gain her a lot more heat and press than actually winning it because she came so close. So I think because it's Philly, you're going to have Roman in there again to the Final Four. Maybe he's not the final guy. He was third to last when Dean was second. He's been second twice, and he's won once. He's going to be in there at the end. Book that shit. No questions. I hope he's number 27 so that Brian can have his little butthole tight like I did last year. But I don't believe they're going to do that. The board is talking about, real quick, and I want to tease for Sunday, the board is talking about our marked out Hall of Fame. Every year for our anniversary show on the Royal Rumble, we are inducting one of our fans, one of our extended family members, into the marked out Wrestling Hall of Fame. Last year, somebody by the name of Upload Test, he disappeared after we tried to acknowledge him, so I don't know. Maybe it's a curse like the Cruiserweight Championship, but nonetheless, another person will enter those halls and those ranks on Sunday during our drunk show. I will be hosting because my liquor tolerance is way higher than Rody Rob's, and we learned what happens when he hosts a drunk show. I basically have to cash in my briefcase anyway and take over the reins. So from Rody Reigns. Oh, I mean
damn it.
Oh, wait, I got that somewhere.
Roman Reigns, the guy with the wettest hair.
Is it hair envy? Is that why he hates him so much?
It might be.
He has none, and Roman has, like, gorgeous hair.
And as far as might be, it might be one of you listening tonight that enters the ranks of the Marked Out Wrestling Podcast Hall of Fame. So please tune in on Sunday to all of our social media channels. We won't be on our normal band or whatever you want to call it, but you could call it the Banniversary show because on Sunday we are going to turn up.
And I think I think we might be unbanned by the time Chamber comes around. I think that might be our glorious debut back to our old channel and all that other stuff. Let's see.
Adam, read my fortune cookie. Bombfucius says this.
What is it? It says, you will make a change for the better within the year. Well, that certainly isn't WWE's fortune, I can tell you
theirs.
that. No. Can Rob never host a show where Adam is present ever again? Why is that, Berto? I don't get what you're saying there. And
it's like a double negative.
And he also says they are fucking stubborn when it comes to Roman. Don't ever count him out of winning something he shouldn't. Agreed. No question there. But everybody's acting like it's a foregone conclusion. And I don't see that. So that's my whole point. That's my takeaway. Anybody else, come back, tune in with us Sunday. We're going to have a lot of fun. I'm not sure exactly who's going to be here. Maybe Medine will be here. That's more than just a name. No, you don't want no retort for that?
Oh, no, I'll be here. I'll be here.
All right, tune in next time. Same smart time, same smart channel.
I'll catch you on the flip side.
Marked Out Podcast is recorded, edited, distributed, and marketed at U-Record Studios in Charlotte, North Carolina. For more information on optimizing your podcast for increased listenership, check out U-Record on Facebook, Twitter, and email sales@urecordstudios.com or visit the website www.urecordstudios.com.
Yes! 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 Yes!
You're listening to the Electronic Media Collective Podcast Network. Yeah, it's a mouthful. For more great shows, visit electronicmediacollective.com.
Go away, fat man.